Hey, don't mind me, knowledge whale just floating in the sea of knowledge. Oh. Here are 50 amazing facts to blow your mind. Film critic Roger Ebert co-wrote a comedy film called Up, which was a murder mystery about a caricature of Adolf Hitler living in Northern California. In 2016, scientists discovered a 99-million-year-old dinosaur tail that was perfectly preserved in amber and even still had feathers. Film action star Donnie Yen was once attacked by 8 gang members outside of a nightclub, and he told them to stop harassing his girlfriend and actually ended up hospitalizing all of them. Dogs have a third eyelid called a nictitating membrane, and according to Deborah S. Friedman from the American College of Veterinary Ophthalmologists, there are 4 functions to it. It clears away debris from the eye, produces a third of the dog's tears, fights infection, and protects the eye from injury. The Roman Emperor Nero wore emerald sunglasses when he watched the gladiator games. According to Polygon.com, the video game industry makes more money per year than the film industry and the music industry combined. In 2014, for example, the global revenue for video games was $83.6 billion compared to the film industry at $36.4 billion and the music industry at $15.6 billion. Legendary movie director Orson Welles directed the classic film Citizen Kane when he was only 25 years old. An unfertilized datestone beetle initially gives birth to 4 to 5 males and mates with the firstborn one. She then eats the rest of them and later gives birth to about 70 offspring of both males and females who then mate with each other. Sounds like some Game of Thrones stuff. The boreal forest stretches across Canada, the northern US, southern Iceland, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Russia, Kazakhstan, northern Japan, and Mongolia. It's the largest land habitat on the planet. The biscuit company Nabisco is short for the National Biscuit Company. A remote village called Yaunanen on the island of Tanna worships Prince Philip as a god and awaits his arrival to stay and live among them. A prophet of the village claimed he foresaw a great event happening and it would grab the world's attention. The collars of polo shirts were used to block the neck from the sun by flipping them up during tennis matches. Putting rabbit ears behind another man's head used to mean that their wife was being unfaithful to them. The 2 fingers were meant to be the horns of a stag that lost their mate to another male. Some of the most exclusive and elite credit cards in the world are made of gold and even have diamonds set in them. The botulinum toxin is the most lethal toxin known to humans and is also the main ingredient in Botox injections and is also used to treat muscle spasms. Ireland has some pretty crazy laws that have been around for hundreds of years, including one where if a leprechaun shows up at your door, you must give him a share of your dinner. Diddly-dee potato. On October 17, 1814, a vat that held 610,000 liters of beer ruptured, which caused other vats of beer to explode. This led to more than 1,470,000 liters of beer rushing into the streets and killed 8 people. If you were an adult living in Dodge City, Kansas from 1876 until 1885, you had at least a 1 in 61 chance of being murdered. The most decorated US soldier in World War II was Audie Murphy, who was only 21 years old by the time the war ended. He killed 240 German soldiers, earned 33 awards and medals, and became a film star. Because of a shortage of airline pilots in China, pilots can earn up to $300,000 a year tax-free. Pilot Jeff Graham says that he would fly up to 100 hours a month when he flew for Southern Air, but when he took a job at a carrier in Shenzhen, he only flies 50 hours for 3 times the pay. The ancient Mayans drew some of the first comics known and featured a clever rabbit known as the Mayan Bugs Bunny. In one of the comics, the rabbit says to an old man, "Smell your sweat, wizard penis." KFC partnered with the Chinese phone company Huawei and created a limited edition smartphone celebrating their 30th anniversary of opening in China. In the 1st century AD, author and philosopher Pliny the Elder correctly recognized amber as the fossilized resin of pine trees and had a deep appreciation for all minerals such as diamonds, sapphires, and rock crystals. Canadian citizens can sign up to receive a free flag from the top of Parliament Parliament Hill after it's retired, but the current waitlist to get one will take around 99 years. Better start waiting. In 2014, astronomers discovered a supernova that has been continuously exploding since the 1950s, which is odd because typical supernova explosions last around 100 days. The hit song Whoop, There It Is was released in 1993 and still makes up to $500,000 a year. It's also been called both the best and worst song of the 90s. Finland celebrates a holiday on November 1st called National Jealousy Day, where every citizen's taxable income is made public at 8 a.m. The first gathering of the world leaders to discuss the fate of any other species besides humans took place in 2010, and it was called the Global Tiger Summit. There are approximately 1 billion cigarette lighters sold in the US each year, with about 700 million of those being imported from other countries. China alone imports close to 400 million of those lighters. 5 mysterious slabs of granite weighing 20 tons each showed up in a barren field in Georgia and had guidelines on it for what to do during the apocalypse carved on them. It displayed 10 commandments to live by, such as keeping the population under 500 million, uniting humanity with a new language, and avoid petty laws and useless officials. According to a study by the CUNY PhD program in economics, since the ride-sharing app Uber was introduced in New York City in 2011, drinking-related car wrecks have decreased by up to 35%. Movie star Denzel Washington paid for Black Panther star Chadwick Boseman's education at the summer theater program at the University of Oxford before he was famous. When Denzel saw Boseman at the premiere of Black Panther, he jokingly told him that he was there to collect.
Oh, so that's why I'm here. You owe me money.
Out of the 2.9 million female high school athletes, only 3% are cheerleaders, even though they account for more than 65% of the catastrophic injuries in girl high school athletics. The makers of the popular game Cards Against Humanity bought a 6-acre island in Maine and named it Hawaii 2 because it's the mainland. US President Theodore Roosevelt tragically lost his mother and first wife when they both died on Valentine's Day in 1884 at different times of the day. Australia supplies around 50% of the world's legally grown opium, which is used for morphine and painkillers by growing poppy farms. The farmers are having trouble keeping the wallabies out because they like to eat the poppies and as a result become high from them and run around in circles. Don't mind me, I'm a wallaby just running around in circles. That makes me happy. The horror film Paranormal Activity made $194 million even though it only had a budget of $15,000. In 1965, a morbidly obese man was put in an experimental fast where he was only given multivitamins and potassium tablets and as a result lost 124 kilograms. A pet bloodhound was let out to pee one morning and ended up running the Elkmont Half Marathon in Alabama, where she ran the entire race and was placed 7th. In 2015, a man was arrested for drunkenly riding a horse on the freeway. He told the officers that the horse knew the way home, and the sheriff decided that he did not qualify as a DWI. The US Navy is starting to replace all of their periscope controllers in their submarines with Xbox 360 controllers, which have cut training time down from hours to only minutes. According to the Air Travel Consumer Report, United Airlines has the worst record of pet deaths on their planes than any other airline. Lord of the Rings star Viggo Mortensen bought 2 horses that he rode in the movies and also later bought the horse that he rode in Hidalgo. Former heavyweight champion boxer Mike Tyson's workout consisted of waking up every day at 4 a.m. and running 3 to 5 miles in a jog. Then he would complete 2,000 sit-ups, 500 push-ups, 500 dips, and 500 shrugs a day. I can do like 30 sit-ups. So, when NBA superstar LeBron James was 18, he rejected a $10 million offer from Reebok because he felt that Nike or Adidas would offer more money. He later accepted $90 million from Nike shortly after. Calvin and Hobbes creator Bill Watterson turned down an estimated $300 to $400 million when he refused to license and merchandise his work because he wanted to maintain the purity and integrity of the comic. Nolan Bushnell, who was the founder of the video game company Atari, sold the company and used the money to start Chuck E. Cheese's. In 1897, 3 Swedes attempted to be the first people to reach the North Pole by riding in a hot air balloon, but it ended up crashing after 65 hours. 33 years later, a ship found their camp along with their bodies and discovered that they in fact survived for weeks by hunting polar bears. Because of President John F. Kennedy's privileged childhood as well as upbringing, he claimed that he only knew about the Great Depression through books that he read while attending Harvard University. In 1985, a drug smuggler dropped 40 kilograms of cocaine over Georgia's Chattahoochee National Forest. A black bear then found the cocaine, ate all of it, and later died from a massive overdose. He was nicknamed, and get ready for this, Pablo Escobar. Yep.